Well, we're just going to get at it then. Find a comfortable seat or lie down, whichever suits you. You're probably going to have to lie down the whole time, so sitting up at the beginning might be good just to feel the gravity in your body for a while so that you can really feel that transition. Be the change you want to see in this world. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Practice out of love for myself, to learn the truth for the benefit of all beings. Namo Vaha Sadavaha Swagatam Sadavaha. May your journey be filled with bliss, and welcome, my beautiful friends.
Welcome, friends.
Happy Valentine's Day. So this evening, we're going to do a little bit of somatic work, and you're welcome to lie down. Whenever you're ready to lie down on your back, find a comfortable place. If you don't want to continue to sit, that's fine too. Whatever feels right in your body. We want to have a little bit of somatic movement, and then we're going to go into a yoga Nidra tonight. And And there's a lot I can say on Yoga Nidra, but I opt not to really say much at all on Yoga Nidra tonight, except to say we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to combine, as part of the visualization, as part of the journey, the Yoga Nidra journey into that liminal space between waking and sleeping. We're going to do some meditations for Valentine's Day from this 8th or 9th century text. Now, in the tradition that this text was written, in the tradition that I practice in, holidays are of no significance. No day is more important than any other day. They're all equally incredibly important. And you need to be grateful and thankful that you have consciousness, you have awareness, you have the ability to act and to think. What more can you want? And to create, right? You have all the acts of God in your hands. So it's just silly to even think that some days are better than other days for anything, right? Maybe they are, but you can't plan ahead on such things. Certainly the unfolding makes a difference. So this is the Vijñānabhairavatantra. Some of you may have heard me talk about this before. It's a very, very old text. It's a very early yoga practice manual. Mainly meditative techniques in there. There are a few physical techniques like doing Navasana, boat pose on a cushion. Makes it so much harder. But that's a meditative pose. It's not for, working out or anything. So, we're going to do a little somatic work, and then we're going to slowly move into these meditations. And I think we'll just save these meditations. I'll save reading about these meditations later on. But out of the 140 or so practices in this manual, all kinds of things you can do in life, 3 of them have to do with sex. And one of them that I'm going to pull from 2 of the 3, and they're consecutive right together. I'm going to go for the first and the third one. The second one, it requires a partner. Neither the first nor the third require a partner. These are meditations all for sexual energy. So this should be an interesting little visualization. We will get to that when we get to it. Let's begin by feeling into the sensations of lying on the floor, being conscious, of being aware, of being able to act within your body or not act, to do or not to do. It's always a choice to do or not to do. There's not one's not good, one's not bad, to do and not to do. There's times to do and times to not do. The problem is when we get those times confused. When we try to do during the not do time. In the modern world, it's almost impossible to not do during the do times. We get a little unbalanced. And that's where the yoga comes in. That's where these types of meditation can come in. Just pay attention to your toes to begin with. Just be aware that you have toes. Be aware that these toes are as far away from your brain, where you believe your thought center exists in the middle of your head, as you can possibly get and still be in your body. Begin to feel into that distance. That distance, and yet there's sensation. Welcome a little movement into the toes. Maybe just the big toe first. Maybe just a bend the big toe in a little bit. Notice that maybe other toes don't want it to bend without them bending. Let it happen. Whatever's happening, happens. Just be soft and easy. And be aware and marvel without telling a story about it. But you can feel those toes down there. And then bring the big toes back towards your nose. Bring them back and see what happens now. Just slowly and easily. See if you can feel the connection between the big toe and the heel. Can you feel that? You feel a connection. Through the foot? How far can you feel that connection? If you can feel it in the heel, just begin to think about. We're doing both at the same time. This is just an awareness exercise. So being aware that the two sides are not the same, or probably not the same. It'd be unusual if they felt the same in your body. We have a bias. We have birth biases, and then we have habitual biases. You can feel it up to the knee. You can feel the movement of the toe in the knee. A sensation. Maybe it's not recognized by the knee as the toe moving. Maybe you can feel that movement of the big toe, and then allow the big toes to go forward and back. Just allow the other toes to be cool, man. Just let them follow if they're following. Slow and easy. This is not about how many times you can move your big toe. This is about being aware how slow and controlled you can move your big toe with awareness throughout your entire body. And this is not a fake it till you make it kind of thing. Don't imagine that you're feeling this sensation in your left nostril if you're not. Just be aware of where you do feel it. This is a true physical experiencing part of the practice now. And now let's try to leave the big toes quiet and still, at ease, sukha. And see what you can do with the other four toes together. You can make a little fist with the other four toes. Just noticing the sensation, slow and easy once again. All the toes bend, some bending more than the others. Can you feel some of the toes better than the others? We'll do a practice sometime during this series where we will actually work with the toes and the feet a little bit more. This is just a somatic experience, starting with the toes. And then see if you can draw the toes, the four toes without the big toe back. But don't keep the big toe from drawing back. If it comes with the other ones, let it come with the other ones. That's very habituated for shoe wearers. All the toes are going to move together because they can't do anything else. They're in the coffin. They're in the coffin however many hours a day that they're in the coffin. Kind of like Dracula, you know. They have to go in the coffin all day long and they can come out at night for a little while. And now we will make it a little bit more active. Right? As you're moving the toes into a fist, draw the big toe back. This may feel like that's pretty good and easy to do, right? Make a fist with all the toes except the big toes. Not effort. Right? This is not about doing. This is not about the effort. This is just an effortless intention to allow that to happen. And then try going the other way. the big toe into a fist and draw the other toes back. See how that feels. There again, just noticing the sensation. We're not critiquing our ability to move our toes. That's not the point here. The point isn't to recognize, wow, I really have little control over my toes. Why do I even have them? Why don't I just have a flipper here? And that is not unusual. And over time, with awareness, we'll start to regain some independence in the toes. In the modern world, we never really get our toes working correctly. And now bring your awareness to the back of your head, lying on the floor, or wherever it's lying. It might be lying on a support, a pillow, whatever you need to make your body comfortable, always in somatics. And see if you can feel the connection between the toes and the back of the head. If you have to wiggle your toes a little bit, go ahead and do that. If you need to roll your head slightly or nod your chin up and down slightly to start to feel a full body awareness of the position of your head. See if you can feel some type of interference or sensation, cross sensation between the movement of the toes. Just that little, barely moving of the head. Just enough to feel the back of the head on the floor. You can feel the toes into the heel. Wiggling the toes so you can feel the heel moving just slightly. And if the heel's moving just slightly, bring your full awareness to both heels as you're gently moving your toes. So you can feel just a little bit of movement. Don't force the movement in the heels. And from that, feel the connection into the ankle now. So we're going back up towards the ankle. Maybe press the heel down a little bit, wiggle the toes a little bit. Allow the heel to lift up a little bit. Don't try to lift the leg, just allow the heel to become a little bit lighter. Organized to make the heels lighter on the floor. And see if they can start to feel the connection as maybe you allow the foot to become heavier and lighter, the heel, you might start feeling the ankle actually moving a little bit. And allow it to move as you press down. Allow your body to adjust to whatever slight sensation I suggest during this somatic movement scan. So you can let your toes go now. If you like, you don't have to move your toes anymore. We're trying to make this connection all the way up to the back of the head. Slowly and easily, piece by piece, part by part. This is a rotation of consciousness, bringing your awareness, directing your awareness. Just allow it to follow now. So from the ankle, see if you can feel the heel on the floor, the ankle moving slightly. See if you can feel now the transfer of energy from the floor into your moving ankle, into the leg bones, to the lower leg bones. You just feel that pushing maybe just a little bit. You can follow that up. Maybe if you're just allowing the forces to slide, you'll feel your skeleton slide beneath the muscles, perhaps. You can really relax the muscles in your legs and direct the force from the floor, the back of your heel, up your lower leg. You'll feel like the bone is sliding beneath the muscle. Those are relaxed muscles. They don't have to engage. You feel that energy, and you might not feel that sensation. That's a very difficult sensation to feel. See if you can just feel the transfer of energy through the bones. This is what I'm talking about. I'm asking you to feel the movement from the skeleton. And feel the forces transfer all the way up through the knee. Maybe if the knee's really relaxed, you can feel a slight bending in the knee. It's okay if you don't. I'm not suggesting that you should feel it. You just might feel it. You might be feeling other sensations in your body. Allow all of these sensations to just be there. Don't do anything with them. Just take them all in. If you don't hear the words I'm saying, that's okay. It's just part of the background noise. If you catch something every once in a while, that's fine. That's the practice. So you can feel that energy come up through the thighs into the pelvis now, just from your heel. Just from a gentle movement of your heel. Relax the toes. You don't have to do anything with the toes. It's just the heel heavy on the floor, making it a little bit heavier or a little bit lighter. Just that movement allows the ankle to glide just a little bit. The foot on the leg. Just a little gliding. See if you can feel that gliding of the bones all the way up into the pelvis. Bring your awareness to that center point of the pelvis, which we call the khanda, or the secret chakra. See if you can feel that movement of the ankles in that center of the khanda. Then stop the movement to the ankles. Let all of that go and just take a few moments to reflect without a story on how it feels to be me lying here. So in this one practice, this point, this khanda, is going to be referred to as the fire at the root, the center of the pelvis, the center of the physical body. Allow your breath to open and close that area. And with your feet and ankles relaxed, see if you can begin to feel the movement of the pelvis from your breath. Breathe from that center point, from that fire. We're like a bellows now, and that fire in the secret center at the root. For a man, that's what we want to feel. For a woman, this is actually the cervix. This would be sensed at the cervix. It just happens to be that that's where it's located almost. Begin to now, without moving your legs, feel an attraction between the inner edges of the feet towards each other without the feet moving. It's like there's a magnet on each foot, and that magnet's pulling the feet towards each other, but they're not moving. And begin to feel this engagement now up through the inner legs from the heels. You feel that transfer of energy. And this transfer of energy comes, you might feel this more in the pelvic floor, a little bit lower. And feel that place in the pelvic floor. And become aware now of the connection between that khanda, that fire at the root, and the pelvic floor. And now this meditation also mentions another technical term. Okay? And it's the poison at the tip. Okay, so for a male, it's pretty obvious that this is the tip of the penis. And that place in the pelvic floor is the place where we want to bring our awareness during the meditation. And it's not just anywhere in the pelvic floor, it's in that part of the pelvic floor where we feel the erection. For a female body person, this would be the clitoris in the comparative text of the time. But we don't have to worry about that. So it's the center of between the kunda and the tip of the erect penis in the pelvic floor that is the point of meditation for this practice. So let's continue on the somatic journey. Now, allow the heels, the outer edges of the feet or the inner edges of the feet to feel like they're pushing away from each other. Like you had two north poles of a magnet on the feet. They were pushing away from each other. And see if you can feel the engagement into the outer pelvis now. Feel that connection. So you can start to feel all of those connections with your breath from the pelvic floor of the torso, the bottom of the tail. And start to make those connections up the spine. Just notice the connection between the spinal movement and your breath. And I will read the translation for the first sutra, or the first Yukti is actually what we call it. It's a practice. One should cast one's attention full of pleasure into the center point between the fire at the root and the poison at the tip, with either Kavala Kumbhaka or Puraka Kumbhaka. So Kavala means whenever. It's holding the breath, stopping the breath whenever. And Puraka Kumbhaka is holding your breath after the inhale. So you can do either one of those. And the idea in the meditation, we're still just feeling into our body, feeling the spine. See if we can, with just our breath, begin to feel the vertebrae moving with respect to the floor. Maybe even allowing the back to relax closer and closer to the floor. So usually this practice is done, this one I just read, this is what started all the tantric stuff back, over 100 years ago. It's someone's idea of what that should say. So there's different options for actually, the idea, of course, is to bring yourself to a state of excitement and hold your breath with your awareness on that point in the pelvic floor. And then when the excitement recedes, then you stimulate more, and this is a way to prolong, and actually it says here for So this is the bliss of sexuality, the joy of romantic love, the bliss of remembrance is mentioned here. And this is a smada, is the name of Kamadeva. So this is Chris Wallace, this translation. So once again, bring your awareness to the back of your head. So you can connect the movement of maybe your chin with your breath, back of your head soft, your neck soft, your face soft. Now, typically this was done as Buddhists would call it. The Buddhists had to have a name for this, for masturbation. This would not usually be done with a sexual partner. The one after this would be done with a sexual partner. This one can either be done completely as a meditative process, which is what I'm going to invite you to do, or it could be done with self-excitement. So the one that's 2 later gives us a verse 70, Yukti 42, the 42nd practice in there. Reads like this: O Queen of the Gods, even in the absence of a consort, by the intensely remembering the joy of being with a woman, i.e. with the memory of licking, kissing, lovemaking, and grinding, one may become plunged in bliss. So, through memory, we can have a perfectly somatic experience, sexual experience of a prolonged nature. And this is in celebration of something that's natural to life, and it's also considered as close to the bliss that we're looking for as we can get naturally. So it's an invitation to that state. It's an invitation to deep meditation on the pelvic floor with the thoughts of a sexual partner of your choice. And that's just one offering for you. This is just thought it'd be nice for a practice like this. So tonight, we are going to go ahead and chant a mantra that I think goes along very well with this. This is Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Om, of course, is expansive, opening, full consciousness, unitary consciousness. Hrim is usually considered like the more feminine side of the more polite side of the goddesses. Hrim is a bija for them, but Hri is a bija for the heart. That's what the heart is, Hri. So it's also for the expansion into the heart space. So that goes along with the expansion of the kunda. These are bindus in the space of the body. These energy sources that are more primal than the chakras. There's one in the head also. So we're going to begin this chant. We're going to invite you to continue with the somatic scan. You're welcome to bring yourself into a state of Nidra at any time. The concentration here is to bring yourself into that state of awareness as you're lying down completely relaxed, closer and closer to that liminal space. There's a whole practice in this on that liminal space, actually. So, Gurave, this is the Guru principle that we learn from everything, everyone, every experience, every emotion. All we can do is our teacher, our Guru.
Shri Gurave Namah. Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Tasmai Shri Gurave Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya.
Tasmai Shri
Gurave Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave Om Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Shri Gurave
Slowly, easily, lazily, bring your awareness to your breath. Bring your awareness to the space of the heart, feeling an openness, a deepness. Bringing your awareness down to the center of the pelvis. Feeling the fire in the pelvis. It's the fire of transformation, the heat of transformation. Begin to become aware of any excess energy. And slowly guide that into the central channel. Allow it to rise up the central channel, through the space of the heart, through the space of the head. and out through the crown. And that energy as prana back out into the universe. And to allow your head to roll from side to side. You're welcome to continue to lie there. You're going to stand up, you're going to get back up, bring your knees to standing. You're going to feel the bottom of your feet on the floor, pressing into the bottoms of the feet and into the heels, feeling that pressure come up into the pelvis, rolling the lower back down towards the floor, opening up the space of the pelvis, the space of the heart. May all beings exist in peace and freedom, and through my thoughts, my words, and my actions, do I acknowledge and honor their peace and freedom. Namo Vaha, Namaskaram. Om. Peace and happiness for all critters except for two little dogs in the next room. In which case, yeah.